Folks, tonight I'm talking about the Sunfield Soul. It's from Sunfield, music out of Florida. AC30 type sound here. folks, tonight I'm going to talk to you about this very special new guitar that I have called the Sunfield Soul. This is the gold top version of it. There are several different versions of it you can get. One I think is purple, and it has the flame maple top. This one just happens to be a beautiful gold top, and I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying playing this. I have played until my fingers have just turned black from the. I've just about worn myself out playing this guitar, and so what makes it special? You may recall that a few years ago I talked about the Oscar Schmidt OE20, I think it was, and so at first glance, this looks kind of similar to that, but it's a whole different cut above. Let me tell you, I'm going to cut the volume back here for a minute. What do you get extra with this one? Well, you get these Wilkinson type hardware. It's all gold. You get a mahogany neck. A lot of the Oscar Schmidt, the very cheaper Chinese Les Paul copies, have a maple neck. You get what I gather to be probably a chambered mahogany body. I mean, I guess it is because it's not as heavy as my solid mahogany old Washburn guitar. It feels pretty much the weight of it feels like my my Gibson Les Paul Studio that I do. I mean, it's basically exactly like playing that in a way. The neck radius is exactly what a Gibson is, or what the Epiphones are. At least I'm sure it is. The bridge is outstanding. The thing you get really nice is you get these awesome tuners, locking tuners. And folks, I don't think I've ever used better locking tuners than these. I mean, the tuning ratio is just very minute. I mean, you can really dial it in very closely. And after I played it for about 30 minutes, the strings settled in. It comes with number 10 strings from, I guess, D'Addario. And so, yeah, it's just a beautiful instrument. You get these Les Paul type knobs, the larger type knobs. You know, a lot of times you get the little kind of dinkier knobs they're like brown, and they kind of come in rather than the big knobs, which I love these kind of knobs like this right here. So yeah, the fretwork is fantastic. I have to say the fret edges feel better than any Chinese Les Paul I've ever played, and I've played a lot of them. I've got a lot of Chinese type guitars. I think the pickups sound great. They just are super bright and crunchy. I mean, in a big way. So tonight I've been playing through a Boss Guitar on one of the 50 watt amps, but I had it dialed back to 0.5 watts. And I've been playing also through a Vox VT40X. That's what you've been listening to on some of the demos. And plenty of sustain, lots of bite, deep, rich lows. If you go to this top pickup, or this pickup right here, the front pickup, the knobs actually do something. You know, a lot of the Chinese knobs, they kind of, you know, it's like going from treble to more of a muted bassy kind of sound, or a rolled back sound. You don't get that much. These work really well, and I'll actually say this: when you dial back the volume a little bit. Now I'm talking about when you're playing with overdrive, not with like crazy distortions and stuff. You can really hear the nature of the guitar switch and change as you go back. You could actually, I think, go out with 2 or 3 basic sounds that you want to play when you go out, and then you could control a lot of your sound just from the tone and volume knobs. The playability is fantastic. I want to say this: it plays to me like an old Gibson in a way. I mean, it has a sort of the feel of my Washburn WP50, which to me feels kind of like a 59 Les Paul. I mean, I actually got to play a 59 Les Paul one time. I remember I was playing at Green Guitar in Nashville, and it felt similar. And this one reminds me of the way that that guitar feels. I had to do a bit of adjustment on the neck when it came in because it didn't play exactly the way I wanted it to play. Now it does, so it's very playable. The frets are like these medium jumbo type frets, at least they look like they are. The neck is a really nice neck. I just got to say that. It plays fantastic. I actually have here one of maybe the prototype for this. There's actually on the back of this guitar, there's not a serial number. It just says RR Soul. Now, from what I understand, in Weifang, China, there are multiple companies or multiple factories that make these Chinese guitars, that are very much replicas of what you get in America. And man, this feels like an American guitar. It really does. There is a luthier there that goes by the name of Raf Ravelli. Raf Ravelli, I believe, is correct. If I said it wrong, I will put it in the description. So Sunfield, wanted to make a Chinese Les Paul that was very much, I guess, a cut above or a step above what you typically would get from China. And so they've done that with this guitar. And just everything about it feels great. Like I say, the bridge feels great. I love the gold hardware. I have played this. All the electronics, it switches out awesome. The mother pearl inlays are awesome. I love the headstock. I like this actually sole is a cool thing, and it's beautiful mother of pearl. And when it's just very iridescent when you turn it back and forth. There's nothing plasticky or weird about this guitar. It is a rock solid rock and roll machine. I mean, I think it sounds great clean. I've played around with it clean a lot, and so I think it would be good for country and blues definitely. The thing I think it would really shine at is just it's a rock guitar. I think rock or metal even. I mean, really, it just can get rowdy sounding. I think it sounds like a Randy Rhoads type Les Paul is what I think. So I've just been having a blast playing this. I've played some Boston. I've played some Cream. I've played various different stuff on this. And I got to say, this is one of my favorite guitars ever. Mahogany neck, mahogany body, awesome tuners, awesome hardware. I don't think, people are always going out and switching out the electronics and switching out the pickups and stuff. I don't know. If you're into that, fine. I don't see why in the world these pickups couldn't get you down the road. The Wilkinson stuff is just, in my opinion, very excellent. You go to what is it, Stu Mac and all, and you can get the same kind of stuff that's going into these guitars. I'm a big fan of the Oscar Schmidt guitars and the OE20, I think. But this one is, this one I'd say is a vast improvement on that. And I just mean the fit and finish is really, really top notch. I love everything about it. It came entombed in styrofoam, very well packed and everything. So Raf Ravelli is actually one of the best luthiers in China, at least according to the folks at Sunfield, and they've been very straight up and honest with me. They're putting out some great guitars, so I believe them. And so they actually sent me some pictures from the factory in China where he's being made. So I'm going to be showing you these pictures as I tell you about this. So the people at Sunfield actually commissioned this guitar. Almost all the Chinese, Les Paul type copies and other type copies that you get from China come from the city Weifang. There's about 9 million people there. You go read about it on Wikipedia. And they are kind of world famous for building guitars, and they just really ramped up their quality over the years. Chinese guitar now isn't what it was 15 or 20 years ago. Now they're just some of the best guitars made in the world. And I think this one's beautiful. The finish, as I look at it, in here inside you can't really see it. I took it outside some and tried to look how it shines, how it shimmers. And I've not seen a gold top finish quite like that. And I love the back. Again, everything, the neck is set, and the neck is set very well. I mean, I don't see any weird little places where it looks like it wasn't put together well. All the binding around the outside, all of it. It is just an absolute pleasure to play. I can't tell you enough how much I love this guitar. So I would say go to Sunfield Music's website, check it out. I kid you not, this is for I think it's $349. Yeah, you can get the Oscar Schmidt ones for around $200, $225, something like that. This one, for what you get with it, particularly the lock-in tuners and the gold hardware, mahogany neck, everything about it that I just think makes it more like a real Les Paul. And I'm not kidding. There's nothing. Here's the thing. There's no cheese factor about this guitar. It does not feel cheap in any way. It just feels like a weapon in your hand, my friend. If you were a rock and roller, you want a real butt-kicking little Les Paul, I got to tell you, this one will really go well with a combo like the Boss Katana or the Vox VT40X, VT20X. I'm playing a lot through now. I'm doing stereo through the VT40X and the Boss Katana together. I like the clarity of the Boss Katana and the fact I got those Boss effects in. I like the kind of real thick warmth and everything I get for that tube from the VT40X. So I've been playing this guitar a lot through that, and it just really rocks. Hey, hats off to the folks in China. Hats off to Raf Ravelli and his team. Hats off to the guys. You know who you are at Sunfield Music. Thank you for commissioning the Soul. You've really stepped it up with Chinese Les Pauls, and this one is a keeper, my friends. This one is really good. Go out and get one while you can. I think if you like Les Paul copies, if you like the Les Paul sound, you're going to get pretty dang close to it with this. You're going to get great playability. It really does feel like an old school guitar, and it just screams. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to my channel if you like.